What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with some basketball analysis live on YouTube, exclusively on their, of course, under analysis playground. And we're going to talk about Michael Porter Jr. He's been saying that the Brooklyn Nets, their organization, and their coaching staff have really been going hard on him to see if he can be the best version of himself with the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, they traded for him to, get him as a potential star. They had Cam Johnson. They tried him out. He played well. He did a good job. And now they feel like we got somebody that's taller, better shooter, possibly even a better scorer because of his height and his athleticism. He looks better, in my personal opinion, than when he came into the league. He had a couple back surgeries, always a nasty injury because of your mobility and a healing process. But he's a champion. So that's something that he doesn't have to really worry about chasing. That's something that he don't really have to worry about getting right away. If he does stay with the Nets for a couple years, I think the Nets fans will be happy with that because they don't really have nothing to really watch but the Cam Thomas show, which isn't the worst thing on earth. But then again, you're not going to win too many games that way, even with Michael Porter. But they do fit each other because Michael Porter Jr. can play on and off the ball, and he's a decent rebounder. And he is a guy that keeps the ball moving if he doesn't have a quality shot. Now, he does have that bad shot syndrome where he's going to take it just because he feels like he's going to make it. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. But this is a legitimate player. Let's not act like Michael Porter Jr. isn't a good player. Like the guy averaged 18.7 rebounds and 2 assists on 50% shooting, and that was legit. Even though you can say, well, he played with Nikola Jokic, he's not going to have somebody that can generate him good shots. He's not going to have somebody that can get him on backdoor cuts and make his life a lot easier because he was playing with one of the greatest basketball players ever. But let's not forget that Michael Porter Jr. can get his own shot. He doesn't do it as much as he used to because he didn't really need to with the Denver Nuggets. And that's one thing the Brooklyn Nets have been trying to get him to be more welcome to. We need you to be a star. We need you to be great. And that's why we wanted you, because you was one of the very few players that we actually could get and we actually liked. And we do feel like you still have that path where you can be a 22 to 25 point scorer in this league. Now, like I said, it might not lead to wins, but it's better than what Cam Johnson was giving you. And he did have a good season with them, but they looked at it like, we get somebody that's longer, we get somebody that's taller, we got a guy that can do more. And that also shows that it makes sense because that's what you need at this point. If you're the Brooklyn Nets, you got to try to get as many guys that can be potential stars as possible. And if you have a chance to get one, especially on a contract that you don't really have a problem with being able to get or being able to build around, which they really don't with the roster they have right now, and they're going to be rebuilding and retooling at the same time for a couple years, it makes sense to go all in on a guy that's a good 3-point shooter and a good shot taker from time to time. And I think that will change with the Brooklyn Nets. I think he's going to have more of a green light with how he's going to be able to attack as an offensive player. We know that he has had defensive troubles. I think that the Nets as a whole is going to have those type of problems still. They have some guys that are just not great athletes. They have guys that are just not really smart enough IQ wise and just don't have the understanding yet. But we knew that that's going to come with the territory. You're going to have growing pains when you're building young. They have to learn how to value possession. They have to learn how to play together. They have to learn how to grow together. And that's not going to be something that's going to be done overnight. And that's understandable. And that's what the Brooklyn Nets fans should be thinking going into this season. We're going to suck. We're not going to win a lot of games, but we get to see a lot of things that could work and couldn't work and what we should move and what should we not do at the end of the day. And that's something that's important. You got to know who's worth keeping. You have to know who's looking like they can be a potential difference maker. And that's going to be something that Michael Porter Jr. is going to want to show. But when you look at the fact that he was a starter getting 33 minutes per game with the Denver Nuggets just this past season, he shot 50% from the field. And he did that a couple seasons with the Denver Nuggets when they had a lot of talent and when they didn't. but he also was a good 3-point shooter, above average to be honest about it. And he did shoot a healthy amount of attempts. He averaged about 6. Sometimes he even shot 7. I think that that's still going to be something that he's going to be doing in Brooklyn. They're going to need him to take them. He's going to be ready. He's always moving without the basketball. That's one of his strengths as a scorer, using his ability to use that speed and that quickness and that length to be able to get wherever he wants on the floor. It's just about finding him. And I think he's going to have to work a little bit harder doing that because he's more noticeable on a team like the Brooklyn Nets, because they know for sure that he's a guy that they have to pay attention to if they want to beat this team. And I think it's going to be a little bit more harder, but he's going to be more prepared. That's the whole purpose of training camp. That's the whole purpose of the preseason. That's the whole purpose of the off season, is to be ready and be prepared for whatever the defense can throw at you and how you can counter it. And I think that that's only going to make him better and stronger as a player. People do forget, though, that Michael Porter Jr. isn't as young as you think. He's 27, and next season he's going to be getting ready to turn 28 by next year. And that shows you that their window for figuring out how to keep them and how to use them the right way may close a little earlier than they think. But if he plays well and he stays healthy, he's going to be a tradable guy, because either they're not going to want to extend him, or they feel like he didn't really be the player that they thought he would be, and they'll probably try to move off of him that way too. But if he does exceed expectations, which is a possibility also, because he is a hard worker and he does understand how to play the game at a high level, and he does understand how to play winning basketball because he did it and accepted that role in Denver and did it for multiple years. But look at the fact that this man getting 7 boards, and the guy is giving you 18 points. It was a season where he played 61 games and gave you 19 points. So the man can really score, and he can really put that ball in the basket. And he does have a lot of upside too as a player. So I think that this move, even though it might be long or short, we don't know how long he's going to be there. This could be one of those years where he can break out and be a 20-plus scorer and still do it efficiently, or still do it at a high volume scoring level. And that's all you really need to do, is just fill up this category, and be great in one category. And you only have to do that for a couple months to be an all-star. And I think that he could reach that level because the opportunity and the chances are going to be there. It just, can he knock down those shots? Can he continue to make plays? And can he continue to rebound at a high level? Because they do have rebounding issues. They do have shot issues and spacing issues. And Michael Porter Jr. can correct those things or help those things by just being there on the court, because he can knock them down, in space, or he can just knock them down as a catch and shooter. So I like what he can be. I like the reason why they tried to figure out a way to get him. And I like his upside, even though he is on the older end of the 20s. And the guy, I like what he's doing in his offseason. They're pushing him. They want him to be great. They want him to live up to those expectations that he had coming out of high school. He was, to a lot of people, the number one player in that draft when it came to high school, especially before he injured his back, which really made him still a lottery pick and a champion. But he still has that ability to be one of the best players in the league. And that's one thing that we still want to see, if he can actually reach that before his career is over. And it'll be a fun thing to say. I was all-star in the league. I was one of the best players in the league that season, or for a couple seasons. It'll be good for the Nets, and it'll be good for himself. And he's a guy that's pushing himself too. He wants to challenge. He wants to be great. He feels like he is one of the best players at his position. He feels like he's been slept on. He feels like people haven't really been giving him the credit from day one. People wanted to get rid of him. People was bashing him. People wasn't feeling him when he came into the league, and he fit his role and he played his game, and they was able to get it done in Denver. Now this is going to be a tougher challenge because there's less talent and you might have to do more, but the great ones relish in that role. We want it. We have to have it. We got to get it that way, because that's the only way we're going to get our respect and our credit as players, or our respect and our credit in our career. And he has the opportunity to show what he showed in high school. Yes, he's healthier. Yes, he has a couple more months to be prepared for the regular season, and they just doing everything that it takes to make sure he's going to be ready, and he's doing the same thing. And all I can hope for is he can put on the show. Like I watch Brooklyn Nets games whether he was there or not, but I'm also going to say it would be fun to see some blossoming stars play at a high level and give us something unique and something different to watch. And Michael Porter Jr. is a different player. He has a different type of style. He has the different ways that he get his, and it will be fun for him to go off for a couple seasons in Brooklyn and show what he can really do and show more of his bag and his repertoire to the game and to the fans of basketball and the NBA. So I'm rooting for you, Michael Porter Jr. I see you putting in that work. I see you feeling yourself. I see the organization got high hopes for you. They believe in you. They're rooting for you, and they want you to be great for them. And like I said, it is time for something different. It is time for something new. He was always the player getting shots took at him when things didn't work in Denver. Some things he did do to himself. Sometimes he didn't perform the way he needed to perform. Sometimes he didn't defend the way he needed to defend. But at the end of the day, they can't blame Michael Porter Jr. anymore because he's no longer on that roster. But now he can become the Michael Porter Jr. that he really sees himself as and really wants to be known and seen as in the NBA. And that's one of the best feelings and one of the best things you can be and do at this point of your career. When you have nothing else to prove but prove that you want to be what you think you are and you should be remembered as, that's as big as anything. That's really a joy that you can't really get anywhere else. I know it for sure, and I know for sure he feels the same way. I love playing in Denver. I would have loved playing in Denver longer, but since it was no longer mutual and I have a chance to prove that I'm one of the best players in this league, and I believe that I am, let me go out there and show it to the world. If he can do it and he can validate it and he can go out there and perform at that level, everybody's going to look at him differently, and he's going to be proud of how he played. He just needs to stay healthy, and he just needs to continue to attack that rim, finish at the free throw line, knock down a couple threes, get out in transition, and have fun with the game. And that's all you can really do at this point of your career anyway. Plus, you blessed enough to still be in the league, and you're healthier than you ever been, and you can get even more healthier because the season not going to start until a couple months. And that means he should be ready for this challenge, and he should be ready to show how great he really is. And all I can say is I'm waiting for it because I was a guy that was a real big fan of him in high school. I believed that he would make it to the NBA. I did believe he would be great for them in Denver. And now he has a bigger role that he can take in Brooklyn. They need him to do it. They want him to do it. Now let's see if he can. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. If you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this in various NBA only topics. I do breakdowns of real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. I also do mock drafts and draft coverage. Plus, I make videos each and every day, and I got over 3,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch and you can enjoy right now. Plus, on top of that, hope you guys enjoyed y'all day. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm gone for now. I will be back later tomorrow. And all I can say is y'all stay blessed up. Thank y'all for appreciating the content. Thanks for supporting me in the past and now, and hopefully in the future. And thanks for watching and making time for your boy Quinn Wade. Look at this as a form of entertainment. And all I can say is I'm gone. Y'all stay blessed up. Peace out.